Have you ever been so angry that it scared you? You're sitting at the dinner table. It's been a long day, traffic, missed emails, that weird silence from a friend. Then someone says something stupid. It could have been a joke, a comment, a look, but it snaps you like a dry twig. Suddenly, your heart's racing. Your jaw clenches. That feeling, that flood of fire in your chest, it rises fast. And without realizing it, you've lost control. Again. Maybe you yelled. Maybe you shut down and walked out. Or maybe you just swallowed it all, only to lay awake later, replaying that scene in your mind for the 1,000th time, rewriting your comeback line, feeling smaller with every memory. You ever ask yourself, why does something so small feel like the end of the world? Why does one word from someone else hijack your entire emotional system? Here's the truth we're rarely told: you're not angry because of what happened. You're angry because of what you expected. We suffer more in imagination than in reality. Seneca. This isn't just philosophy. This is survival. This is armor for your peace. And if you're still listening, you're ready for it. This story is about reclaiming the one thing that matters more than opinions, reactions, or control: your inner calm. Not numbness. Not indifference. Calm like a mountain in the middle of a storm. And the best part? You don't need a new life to find it. You just need to change the way you see your current one. Let's talk about dishes. Yeah, dishes. You've just finished dinner. You're tired. The sink is full. Again. You look at the mess and feel that familiar tension. Why is it always me? And just like that, the resentment bubbles up. Over a fork. Over a glass. Over nothing. Here's what's wild: the dishes aren't the problem. It's the idea that life should be easier, fairer, or different. That's what really drains you. Stoics called it amor fati, the love of fate. Not just accepting what happens, but embracing it. Not because it's perfect, but because it is. Don't hope that events will happen as you wish. Wish for them to happen as they do, and your life will flow well. Epictetus. This mindset sounds simple, but it's a revolution. Take a stressful moment, like traffic. You're late. Horns blare. You're gripping the wheel like it owes you something. You can stew in it. Or, you can breathe and say, this is what it is. I'm not fighting the river. I'm steering my boat. Imagine how much lighter life would be if every little bump didn't feel like a personal insult. That's what acceptance does. It cuts the weight of false expectations. It frees your energy for what actually matters. You don't have to like what's happening, but you can stop wishing it were something else, because fighting reality never brings peace, only frustration. Your new mantra: it is what it is. And I'll meet it calmly. That's the first brick in your fortress of peace. Judgment is like an addiction. You don't even realize you're hooked until it starts taking over. We judge others, but here's the real kicker: we judge ourselves even more harshly. And let's be honest, we're pretty good at it. The negative self-talk? Constant. I'm not good enough. I could have done better. Why am I like this? It's exhausting, isn't it? What if I told you that judgment is the root of most of your inner turmoil? We live in a world where comparison is like air. He's got it better. She's more successful. They have it easier. But here's the truth: comparing yourself to others, or even to some ideal version of yourself, is like setting a race with no finish line. You're constantly running, but you'll never arrive. It's a trap. When you judge someone else, you create a little enemy. Whether it's the person who cut you off in traffic, the colleague who always speaks over you in meetings, or your family member who doesn't understand your struggles, judgment creates walls. We start to separate ourselves from others. They're the problem. But here's the truth: everyone is fighting their own battles. Every single person you meet has their own struggles, insecurities, and demons. We're all just doing the best we can with what we've been given. When you stop judging others, something beautiful happens. You realize they're not your enemy. You realize they're human, just like you. And when you stop judging yourself, that's when the real magic happens. Instead of "I should be better," you can embrace "I am exactly where I need to be right now." Instead of being your own harshest critic, you can be your own ally. No more self-shaming. No more impossible standards. No more pretending to be something you're not. You're allowed to be you. Right now. In this moment. And that's enough. Judgment is a mask. We wear it to avoid vulnerability. We judge to feel superior. But once you take it off, life becomes simpler. The pressure fades. The walls come down. You become free. Letting go. It sounds so simple, doesn't it? But in reality, it's one of the hardest things to do. We hold on to things like they're treasures, even when they're weighing us down. People, mistakes, expectations, past hurts, we cling to them, not realizing they're the chains that keep us stuck. Why do we do this? Why do we hold on to the past when it no longer serves us? It's because, at some point, we convinced ourselves that holding on was a way of controlling our lives. If we keep replaying the mistakes in our minds, we can avoid making them again, right? If we hold on to our grudges, we can protect ourselves from being hurt again, right? If we try to control every outcome, we can ensure everything goes according to plan, right? But here's the catch: control is an illusion. You can't control everything. In fact, you can't control most things. And trying to hold on to the past is like trying to hold on to water with your bare hands. It slips through your fingers, leaving you frustrated and empty. Letting go doesn't mean giving up. It doesn't mean you're weak or that you don't care. It means you're allowing yourself to move forward, to grow, to make room for something new. Letting go is an act of strength, not weakness. It's a decision to stop letting the past dictate your future. When you let go, you give yourself permission to live fully in the present. You stop running on autopilot, stuck in loops of what could have been or what should have been. Instead, you start to see the beauty in what is. You start to feel the freedom of not being tethered to past mistakes or future fears. Letting go can come in many forms. It might mean forgiving someone, not for their sake, but for yours. It might mean letting go of the idea that you can control everything and embracing uncertainty. It might mean accepting that not everything in life has to be perfect, it just has to be real. And once you truly release that weight, you'll notice something amazing: the space that opens up in your heart and mind. The clarity, the peace, the ability to breathe. Letting go is powerful because it frees you. It allows you to move forward without the heavy burden of regret or fear. It's like opening a window in a stuffy room, letting fresh air flood in. And in that fresh air, you can finally start living, really living, on your own terms. Vulnerability, it's often seen as a weakness, isn't it? In a world that celebrates strength, success, and self-sufficiency, being vulnerable can feel like stepping into the unknown, a place where you're exposed, raw, and open to judgment. But what if vulnerability is actually the greatest strength we possess? What if being vulnerable is the key to forming deeper connections with others and unlocking a more authentic version of yourself? Think about it for a moment. When was the last time you truly let your guard down? When was the last time you shared your fears, your doubts, your hopes, not just with the people you trust, but with yourself? In our society, we've been taught to hide our emotions, to put on a mask, to avoid showing weakness. We wear our armor every day, hoping that no one will see our cracks, our insecurities, or our struggles. But in reality, hiding who we are only isolates us. It keeps us disconnected from others and, more importantly, from our true selves. What if vulnerability isn't about weakness, but about courage? What if embracing your vulnerability could open the door to meaningful relationships, genuine conversations, and true intimacy? When we allow ourselves to be vulnerable, we open up space for others to do the same. It's through vulnerability that trust is built. When we admit that we don't have it all figured out, when we confess our fears or share our failures, we give others permission to do the same. And this is where true connection lies. Not in perfection, but in the shared experience of being human. Because let's face it, everyone is struggling with something. Everyone has their own battles, their own insecurities, their own fears. When we show up as we truly are, without pretense, without walls, we allow others to see us for who we really are. And that's where magic happens. But vulnerability isn't just about being open with others. It's also about being open with yourself. It's about acknowledging your imperfections, accepting your flaws, and embracing the parts of you that you've spent years trying to hide. It's in those moments of self-compassion that we truly grow, because growth comes from acceptance, not resistance. Now, embracing vulnerability doesn't mean you have to pour your heart out to every person you meet. It doesn't mean you have to share every detail of your life with the world. It means allowing yourself to be real, to be human, and to be imperfect, and to give others the space to do the same. In the end, vulnerability is what connects us. It's what makes us feel seen, heard, and understood. And in a world that's often driven by performance and appearances, isn't that what we all need the most? Life is unpredictable. It doesn't always go according to plan. We all experience setbacks, disappointments, and unexpected challenges that shake us to our core. Whether it's a career setback, a personal loss, or just the weight of everyday stress, at times it feels like life can knock us down harder than we ever imagined. But what if I told you that the most powerful thing we can build in our lives is resilience? What if I told you that it's not about avoiding the tough moments, but learning how to navigate them with strength and grace? Resilience isn't about being unaffected by adversity. It's about bouncing back, not necessarily to where we were before, but to a place where we're stronger, wiser, and more equipped to handle the next challenge that comes our way. Resilience isn't something we're born with, it's something we cultivate over time. It's like a muscle, the more we practice, the stronger we get. And the first step in building resilience is learning how to reframe the challenges we face. Instead of seeing adversity as something that breaks us, we can choose to see it as an opportunity to grow. When life hands us a tough situation, it's easy to feel defeated and overwhelmed. But what if we shifted our perspective and asked ourselves, what can I learn from this? What is this challenge teaching me? When we stop viewing challenges as obstacles and start seeing them as opportunities for growth, we empower ourselves to take action, even when the situation seems hopeless. It's about finding the lesson in every setback and trusting that every struggle is a stepping stone to becoming a stronger version of ourselves. Another key to resilience is self-compassion. When things go wrong, it's easy to be hard on ourselves. We might blame ourselves for our mistakes, or feel like we're not doing enough. But the truth is, we're all human. We all stumble, fall, and make mistakes along the way. Being resilient isn't about being perfect, it's about being kind to ourselves when things aren't going well. Instead of punishing ourselves for our failures, resilience encourages us to treat ourselves with the same kindness and understanding we'd offer a friend. Self-compassion allows us to bounce back faster because it removes the weight of shame and guilt, giving us the freedom to move forward without the burden of self-criticism. One of the most important aspects of resilience is acceptance. We can't change everything. We can't control every situation or outcome. But we can control how we respond. Acceptance doesn't mean giving up or resigning ourselves to a bad situation. It simply means acknowledging the reality of where we are and choosing to move forward from there. Resilience is about adapting, adjusting to new circumstances, learning to navigate the unexpected, and finding new ways to cope with the things we can't change. It's about understanding that life is messy, unpredictable, and often outside of our control. But instead of resisting, we can choose to flow with it, finding strength in our ability to adapt, persevere, and continue moving forward. And here's the thing, resilience doesn't mean you won't struggle. It doesn't mean you won't feel pain, fear, or doubt. In fact, resilience often grows through those tough times. It's about how you respond to them. It's about getting back up after you fall, and finding the courage to keep going, even when it seems impossible. Life will throw challenges your way, that's a guarantee. But resilience will ensure that no matter what happens, you have the strength to face it, learn from it, and emerge on the other side more powerful than ever. There's a simple, yet incredibly powerful tool that we often overlook in our daily lives: gratitude. It's so easy to get caught up in the hustle and bustle of life, always looking ahead, striving for more, constantly chasing the next goal. We forget to pause, reflect, and appreciate the present moment, the things we already have, and the people who make our lives richer. But what if I told you that the key to lasting happiness, fulfillment, and even resilience lies in cultivating a habit of gratitude? It sounds almost too simple to be true, but research has shown that practicing gratitude has a profound impact on our well-being. When we focus on the things we're thankful for, we shift our perspective. Instead of looking at what's missing in our lives, we begin to see the abundance that already exists around us. The power of gratitude lies not in grand gestures, but in the small, everyday moments. It's the warm cup of coffee in the morning. It's the smile of a stranger. It's the sound of laughter shared with friends. These seemingly insignificant moments are often the ones that bring us the most joy, but we often take them for granted. Gratitude doesn't just change how we feel about our lives, it changes how we approach life itself. When we're grateful, we become more present. We stop rushing through each day, checking off tasks, and start noticing the beauty in the little things. We begin to see the world through a lens of appreciation, which naturally makes us feel more connected to others and more at peace with ourselves. But the true magic of gratitude doesn't stop there. It also has a ripple effect. When we express gratitude to others, it strengthens our relationships and creates a sense of goodwill and trust. Gratitude has the power to heal wounds, to mend broken connections, and to create deeper bonds with those we care about. By simply saying, thank you, or acknowledging someone's kindness, we're not only lifting their spirits, we're lifting our own as well. Another incredible benefit of practicing gratitude is its ability to shift our mindset. When we choose to focus on the things we're thankful for, it helps us break free from the cycle of negativity and worry. We stop dwelling on what we don't have or what went wrong, and instead, we begin to see the positive aspects of our lives, no matter how small. This shift in mindset helps us build emotional resilience. When we focus on what we have, we're less likely to feel overwhelmed by what we lack. Gratitude also helps us put things into perspective. When we're facing challenges or difficult times, it's easy to get consumed by the negativity of the moment. But when we take a step back and reflect on what we're grateful for, it can remind us that even in the darkest times, there are still moments of light. It helps us realize that no matter how hard things get, we have the strength and resources to keep moving forward. So how can we start incorporating gratitude into our lives? It doesn't have to be complicated. One simple way is to start a gratitude journal. Each day, take a few minutes to write down 3 things you're thankful for. They can be big or small, anything that brings a sense of appreciation. Over time, you'll begin to notice how this simple practice changes your outlook on life. Another powerful way to practice gratitude is by sharing it with others. Take the time to express thanks to the people around you, whether it's your family, friends, colleagues, or even strangers. Let them know how much you appreciate them, and watch how that appreciation not only brightens their day but also enriches your own. The beauty of gratitude is that it doesn't require any special circumstances. You don't have to wait for a major life event to be grateful. Gratitude is available to us in every moment, in every breath, in every interaction. It's a mindset we can choose to cultivate at any time. And when we choose to live with a heart full of gratitude, we create a life that is more fulfilling, joyful, and meaningful. Gratitude doesn't just make us happier, it transforms our entire experience of life. Closing thoughts. As we wrap up this journey together, I want to remind you that all of these principles, accepting life as it is, letting go of judgment, embracing vulnerability, building resilience, and cultivating gratitude, are not just lessons to be learned, but practices to be lived. They're habits that, when woven into the fabric of our daily lives, can help us navigate the ups and downs of life with grace, strength, and joy. The path to inner peace and happiness doesn't come from external achievements or perfect circumstances. It comes from within, from the way we choose to relate to ourselves, to others, and to the world around us. So, take a deep breath, embrace where you are right now, and begin to walk this path of growth and transformation. The journey may not always be easy, but it's worth every step.